And I think we're live. And I remembered, I'm pretty sure, to mute YouTube this time. Someday we'll begin a live stream where I'm not doing this.
Yeah.
But I would hate to start talking to no one. I didn't mute YouTube, so that's good. Welcome back, everybody, to Sugoi Boyz. Reunited after some time is me and J Chip from the J Chip Show, who's looking with beautiful internet quality in comparison.
Yeah.
Is this because are you currently in Minnesota?
Yeah.
How is the lovely state of Minnesota?
It's cold.
It's cold, colder than Wisconsin.
It's about the same.
Yeah.
Because literally, right over there is Wisconsin.
Oh, you could throw a rock at it.
No.
How many takes would it? How many? If I gave you a rock and said hit Wisconsin, how many times would you have to throw said rock?
Like the Mississippi is pretty far. It's a pretty big river.
That's true. That's true.
Also, it's frozen.
Oh shit! Well, you can just walk across it.
I mean, I could. There is a bridge that connects it.
All right. Well, welcome back, everybody. Hope you guys have had a lovely weekend. This weekend felt like at the same time it took forever, yet went by really, really fast.
Yeah.
I've been sort of in my own dungeon of playing, like, during the week, playing a ton of Overwatch. This weekend, playing a bunch of Jedi Fallen Order, which is a game that I did not like at first. I was into it, but not as much as I thought it would be, and now I'm really getting into it. And played Yu-Gi-Oh! Today. That went okay, for those wondering. But there was that, and but I managed to finish up a series that took me quite a long time to do. We're not talking lengths of what the fuck, Chobits. It didn't take me as long as to finish Chobits, but I finally finished the request. But first of all, what have you been watching or reading or anything, Mr. J Chip from the J Chip Show?
Well, as you know, I'm all caught up to One Piece. That took 2 months. And it was a really cool experience because One Piece is my favorite manga now.
Now, was this all like on your phone with the app?
Yeah.
How do you recommend the Shonen Jump app?
Oh yeah.
I'm not sponsored, by the way, but seriously, if Shonen Jump, you want to throw me some money?
It's $2 a month, and you're literally getting like a shit ton of manga.
Yeah, you're gonna get all of Naruto.
You can read it anywhere you want. If you want to go take a shit, you can bring your phone in because I know all of you do. You can read.
I know all of you
manga.
shit.
I know all of you bring your phone into your bathroom.
Into the toilet.
Yeah.
I know all of you put your phone inside your toilet when you go to shit, and you bring it back out at the end.
Yeah.
So $2 a month.
$2.
Now, is there ads on it?
No. Except like Shonen Jump ads, obviously.
Yeah, I'm surprised it's only $2.
Yeah, and you get everything.
Yeah, you can get all of Naruto.
You can even read it for free, but you'll only get like the newest chapters.
Oh well, fuck that. If you want the archive, you just pay $2 a month, I guess.
Yeah, but if you're already caught up, I mean, it's a pretty cool place to get the official stuff.
You could read all of Naruto. You could read all of One Piece.
Yep. You can read all of Bleach.
You can read all of Bleach. Anything that's been, I'm sure, like Hikaru no Go. I'm sure D. Gray Man.
JoJo's.
JoJo's is in there.
The only series you can't read, which is unfortunate, is Hunter x Hunter.
Is that because was it not in Shonen Jump?
It is a Shonen Jump, but you have to buy the volumes digitally to read them. I'm not sure why.
That's weird. You can read Prince of Tennis. If you wanted, I'm pretty sure that was a Shonen Jump thing. I might be lying. I don't have the app, so I might be lying to you, YouTube. I hope I am. I hope I get a comment that's like, you said that would be Prince of Tennis. See if Prince of Tennis is on there, because I hope it isn't, and I hope someone stopped watching just before then. They said, I tried to read Prince of Tennis on your fucking app, and it didn't have Prince of Tennis. I need to see a guy hit tennis balls real fast.
They have Bakuman.
Oh, they have Bakuman.
Black Clover, Black Torch, Blue Exorcist.
Ooh,
Boruto, Dragon Ball,
Why not?
Dr. Stone.
Oh, you can read all of Dr. Stone.
Yeah, Food Wars, Haikyuu. I don't see Prince of Tennis.
Well, shit. Sorry, Prince of Tennis fans.
Kuroko's Basketball.
That's almost like tennis. But
Almost. My Hero Academia is on here.
But getting back to the matter, you read all of One Piece in how long?
2 months.
Oh my god. How much time a day did you dedicate to reading One Piece?
I found it. Prince of Tennis.
Oh, Prince of Tennis. All right, thank God. Thank the heavens, the Prince of Tennis. Oh, thank you, Justin. How many like would you? So this is like hours a day, probably, right?
Sometimes I have taken like week-long breaks from One Piece. That's why it took me like 2 months. Because I know some people that get caught up in like 2 weeks.
Oh,
and you know who I'm talking about.
Hey, Kobe. Hey, George. What's up, man? Well, okay. Warpbait doesn't. We're not gonna dance around it here. Our good friend Mr. Warpbait, who sometimes joins the stream, is a manga fucking fiend, dude. That guy like reads shit in like a millisecond and then rereads it 17 times.
Yeah.
Like
I might reread One Piece.
Why?
Because like I want not like the entire thing, but like certain arcs.
I could sort of see that. I've been rewatching some episodes of Naruto every once in a while. Like early Naruto, like the Zabuza shit and like the Chunin exams, which is one of my favorite arcs in all of anime. I thought about doing a video like about like why the Chunin exams are so cool, but I don't know if anybody would give a fuck, especially like without clips. Yeah. But one of my favorite arcs in all of anime, definitely. So you read all One Piece.
Yep.
Now, do you? Is One Piece one of the greatest manga of all time?
Yeah, it really is. I really think that Oda is like the master of long-term and short-term storytelling. Like, the guy's a genius.
Okay.
I dropped JoJo's in favor for One Piece.
Oh, shit. Fuck, dude. Demonetized, everything gone. Fan base gone. Don't you know, dude? All of my fans are JoJo people.
Yeah.
I've watched one season, and it made them all very happy. Which is more than I've watched of One Piece. I've seen a few random episodes of One Piece. I've never read any of it. It's just something that, like, A, I don't think I'm really into the art style, and B, it's long as fuck. So, like, I don't know if I ever want to sign up for something.
But think about this. The longest arc in One Piece is over 100 chapters.
Okay.
Everything else is very short.
I just got to chapter 100 in Vinland Saga, and I've been reading Vinland Saga for, like, months. That's how sporadically I read manga. Is, like, I'll be very invested in, like, one volume, and then okay, Black Torch is a perfect example. It was a recommendation to me by Warpbait. I powered through volume 1, well, the first 5 chapters on a certain website. That's not the Crunchyroll app. Not Crunchyroll app. Shonen Jump app.
Yeah.
On some other website that might be taken down, actually, as of this recording. Rip manga sites, by the way.
I mean, hey, Shonen Jump, $2 a month.
Yeah, but it's only Shonen Jump stuff. Maybe I don't think Vinland Saga's in there.
No, it's not.
So there you go. Fuck you.
You can't read Fairy Tail.
Oh, well, Fairy, where are you going? So Black Torch is really cool. And I made this video like promoting it and everything. I was like, oh, this is a really cool manga. And it's wicked short, and I just never got around to like finishing it. It was just like Watamode I haven't finished. I've read like 8 volumes of Watamode. It's still ongoing, but they release one every blue moon. So fucking maybe not. Maybe I've read like 6. I own more. I own a bunch of manga that have just sit on my shelf. Nausicaa. We are coming up on fucking Anime Boston 2020 in April. I bought the Nausicaa box set at Anime Boston 2019 a year ago, and it has sat on my shelf forever. Now it's next to my Alita box set, which I want to read that first.
Yeah.
But all right. But One Piece. What makes One Piece so good?
As I said,
in your opinion,
the long-term storytelling is very good because there's going to be stuff that's going to happen early on that's you might not think is going to be as important, but when you get further into the story, you realize, oh yeah, that one side character is actually very important.
mm-hmm. He's good. It sounds like he's very good at tying things together later on.
Yeah, he's very good at answering questions, but you're not going to get those answers in a long time. So meanwhile, it's going to have like this really awesome short story about this one elephant that is a giant island as well.
Sounds like this guy Oda is like the opposite of Tite Kubo and Masashi Kishimoto.
Yeah, he really is.
Because like those guys, okay, I love the cheating exam part of Naruto, right? Let's reiterate that again because I haven't said that enough. I've said it 75 times. I love that shit. There are aspects of Naruto that I fucking love. I've never read the manga. I have been interested in going back and doing what Dredd did and actually reading the manga, but it's long as fuck, and I don't really think that the manga's... I don't think the guy is very good at, like, in some instances, character development, and then, like, answering questions, kind of like what you said. Like, this is going to sound weird, but I like Naruto best when Naruto feels like a real world. Yeah. If that makes... Like, I like, whenever they're doing, like, weird shit, like, going into, like areas where that's not a ninja village, and just seeing, like, that weird, like, interaction of, like, oh, hey, they have to go do this weird mission in this place that's not necessarily run by ninja or something. Just makes it seem like really, really like human. And they're not throwing meteors at each other and shit. That's not really what I want.
Honestly, like out of all the Naruto stuff, I prefer the OG Naruto over Shippuden. I just think Shippuden went more into the shonen route, if that makes sense.
Oh yeah, it went way into power level.
OG Naruto was like they were like explaining like how they were going to defeat the enemy, but in Shippuden it really felt like, oh, this guy has a really high power level.
Yeah, it was more about strategy back in the day.
Yeah,
I feel like this is such a boomer conversation.
Shippuden is really cool. I actually do like Naruto quite a bit, but
Shippuden's really cool, like up to a point.
Yeah, like the war is
up to for me up to Pain. The end of the end of the Pain arc. Not trying to spoil. Fuck you. Actually, you should have seen it already. The end of the Pain arc. Pain should have been the last enemy.
Yeah, I actually
that should have been
because it's like Naruto finally got the respect he wanted from the village. He overcame so much, and it's just like, where do you go from there?
His girl confessed her love.
Yeah.
Look at that. Sasuke's still a dick.
I mean, he's still a dick at the end of the series, so
he's still a dick. He's still a dick in Boruto, from what I've heard.
I don't give a shit about Boruto.
I've seen many Boruto clips on YouTube because people love to upload those. But all right, have you watched anything of late?
Yeah, you mentioned Black Torch, and speaking of black, I am watching Darker Than Black.
Best segue 2020 already done. Darker Than Black.
Yep, I'm about 10 episodes in, and it's pretty cool. It's all right. Like, it's not the greatest thing that Bones has ever made, but if you're a fan of Powers, you will love the show.
Yes, please. And the OP, by the way, by
the first OP is
by
amazing.
TM Revolution, I believe, or Abington Boys School. Yeah, it's fucking really. It sounds like a wrestling theme song.
It's insane.
Night sky full of pride. Arts. Something. The contract isn't worth the price.
Yeah.
For those that don't know, I haven't even actually. You know what? Give a little brief synopsis of Darker Than Black, because I know of the synopsis, but I've never seen an episode, and I can't believe that I haven't yet.
So Darker Than Black is a little bit of an episodic type show, where there are these people that have contracts and they have powers because the stars are gone, and they're all artificial. So, like, let's say if you were a contractor, Miasma, you would be able to have a unique ability, but you have to do something in order to obtain that ability. So there's this one girl where she gets a really cool power, and her for order for her to keep that power, she has to keep on kissing people to keep her powers.
Just like random people.
Yep, random people. Doesn't
How
matter.
like often? Like every day?
Every 2 days, I think. It hasn't really explained a lot. It really is just like a lot of cool fights.
There's one guy that eats a lot of sugar, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Is that what it is?
That's the reason why he has to keep his. That's how he keeps his power.
Huh. And they're fighting each other for some reason.
They're fighting each. So Hay is kind of like a bounty hunter. He's just going after the bad people. There's really not much going on with him.
He's the Mandalorian.
Yeah,
in anime form.
I haven't seen the Mandalorian, but
well,
yeah.
Mandalorian's bounty hunter. That's all you need.
I know my Star Wars.
Okay, Darker Than Black. So this, I have to ask you this then, and you're not the first person I've asked this, and I already think I know the answer. Is Darker Than Black a Miasma show?
Oh yeah. It's not as cheesy as Scryan, but it can be.
Okay.
Because visually, it looks really good. It's a Bone show. It's
still my bones.
The fights are going to look good. The music is fantastic.
I have to warn you for the season 2. The season 2 is a mixed bag, critically.
I've seen a review that praises it and says it's better than the first season.
Interesting. Because I've seen others that say otherwise. Gemini of the Meteor.
And I have to watch Gemini of the Meteor next month. So we'll see. And then, after Darker Than Black, we talked about this before in a private chat, but I finished Terror Resonance. And,
boy!
It sucks so
Finally
much.
something I've watched!
It sucks so bad.
Oh, man. There's a certain group of people that think that that's like a great piece of art.
I mean, that's fine, but like all the characters suck.
I mean, there's also a group of people that like think if like, some like fancy artist like took a shit in the side of a urinal and just like left it sitting there and signed his name on it, they probably think that that's art too.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what Terror Resonance is in a lot of ways. It's kind of a turd in a urinal.
Yeah. That's how I would describe it.
For those that don't know, Terror Resonance, acclaimed director Watanabe, Shinichiro Watanabe of Cowboy Bebop, Kids on the Slope, Samurai Champloo fame.
Carol and
Tuesday has this 11-episode series called Zankyo no Terror, Terror in Resonance. A cool concept, but it's just done like stupidly. It's like it's basically, if you had to boil it down, it's these two terrorists, like I think they're like teenage, right? Yeah. Two terrorist boys who blow up buildings in Japan, but curiously enough, the buildings are like, if I remember correctly, they're like evacuated.
Yeah.
And they usually have this like puzzle thing before that you could figure out like where they're going to bomb. Along the line, this other girl comes into play, and by the way, me describing that is basically what happens. She just comes into play. She doesn't really matter. She's there.
She's really just there because like they're like, we need a female companion.
It has okay animation and music.
I don't know about that. I think the music is kind of overrated.
I like the song like when they're riding on the motorcycles.
The OP is
and they're like
not good.
The OP's not very good, no.
The animation, yeah, it is a very pretty show. I will give it that.
It's a Mappa show, I believe.
Yeah.
Not bad. It's 11 episodes long, and it has very cliche characters, and then it tries to have like really bizarre moments that aren't funny, aren't memorable, aren't anything. And then
the ending was stupid.
Oh, we'll get to stupid endings in a moment. All right, so you watch Terror Resonance, and we all know it's bad.
Yeah.
Shout out to anybody that recommended Terror Resonance to JJ, by the way. Because we're going to talk about some bad endings here, because I'm going to talk about the one show that I finished this week. Well, kept up with Ruby. Been reading Vinland Saga. But fucking Dusk Maiden of Amnesia. Okay. Yep. It took me a while to think of how I wanted to attack this show, because it is literally a mixed bag. It is like the definition, because there's aspects of it that are fucking interesting and cool, but it's also like kind of boring and like not very memorable, but at the same time I want to remember it. If that makes any sense. So basically it's an older, like a few, like I think like probably 2013, 2014 show or something. Called Dusk Maiden of Amnesia. It was made from at the time ongoing manga. So did y'all watch the OVA as well? Kobe, which show do you mean? Do you mean Dusk Maiden or do you mean Terror in Resonance?
I don't think there's a Terror in Resonance OVA.
Okay. I watched
I think it counted the Dusk Maiden.
Okay, if it counted episode 13 as the OVA, then yes, because episode 13 basically doesn't add anything to the series. It's just like this extra episode. So I'm assuming that might be what you mean. I did. I watched 13 episodes. So Dusk Maiden is like about this, like Dusk Maiden, yeah. If it's the 13th episode with the fireworks and stuff, then yes. If it's not what I'm talking about, then I don't know. But Dusk Maiden is basically this like paranormal investigation club with like 4 people in it. 2 of them can actually see. One of them's a ghost. One of them can see. 2 of them can see the ghost. One of them, who believes the most in ghosts, can't see the ghost. Funnily enough, and it's basically this. And the ghost, of course, is this hot girl for some reason. And she is very playful with the main character, who is very beta male. And a lot of fan service going on. Some serious moments, some really cool animation, I will say, especially for the time. This is a Silverlink show. The only other thing I remembered from them was Watamote. But for the time, like, this does not look like it came out in 2013, 2014. It looks better than like some stuff now. It has very interesting shots. I think that a lot of the time when like the characters are like talking in a room, it'll have like the camera will be at like weird sort of like almost like Shinbo angles, where like it's like it'll be up on top of them or it'll be like to the side or something. Very cool cinematography. The OP, really cool. Yeah. Man, we're about to head to the point where I stop being nice. OP is really cool. Check out the OP.
I think the character designs were pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean,
some of them at least.
Yuko is.
I like cool. The main girl. Some of the other characters look fine. Like it's not an ugly looking show.
I like Kyrie a lot.
Yeah,
the green hair girl. She's like my favorite character. The blonde girl's okay too. The guy is meh. Okay. But basically the thing of the show is this one girl is a ghost that haunts the school, and her body is like her bones are like beneath the room that they hang out in. And a lot of the show is them solving like paranormal activities that happen in the show, at the same time trying to uncover the ghost can't remember anything about her death, so it's them trying to sort of trace that back, and eventually they do. And at the same time, a lot of fan servicey weird moments between the main guy and the ghost girl. Meanwhile, the tsundere chick from the group definitely likes the main guy as well. So you got that going on, which totally isn't annoying at all. So there's that. Now the problems with it is that it's 13 episodes long. It felt like I watched more episodes, and not in like a good way. Like it was never like easy to watch. like it's not like I wasn't really able to like relax and watch it because I was either like annoyed or I was like bored because there's just some episodes that like I mean I almost feel like you could watch this show and watch like 7 of the episodes or like maybe like 9 and then like you'd get like almost like the same reaction. Like yeah, there's some other cool there's first of all there's very few other characters that they introduce at all in the entire school.
Yeah.
When they do, they're not very interesting, or they're like one-offs. Like there's this one blonde girl who's like a antagonist for like one episode. And then you get to the story of Yuko and how she, you know, became this ghost that haunts the school and everything. And the show has, you know, a variety of tones going on. Like I said, it has the jokey fan service stuff. It has certainly some comedy in there. Has a lot of like sex jokes. There's one girl in the group who has a really like flat chest, and she has a recurring joke that she keeps drinking milk.
Yeah.
So that way she looks more like the ghost girl.
I don't mean to like cut you off, but Art is going to be on in 5 minutes.
Oh, sweet.
He just said it in the Discord chat.
Awesome. But my issue with it, when you have like a variety of tones like this, it took way too long for it to get like serious enough, because around episode 10, and this is where in a review I had seen of the show a while back, latter parts of the series get far more serious and a lot more touching and emotional. And episode 10 through 12, well, mostly 10 and 11, will pull at your heartstrings, I think. And hey, Jed, how's it going?
Hi. Made it.
Hey, it's up. Talking Dusk, Maiden of Amnesia. The show a lot of people get amnesia about, and I'm not.
We're talking about that again. The show I don't remember after watching twice or 3 times, however many I said I watched it.
It's been like 2 years since I've seen it. So
we finished it today, and I was explaining why you might have amnesia after it. Because it's kind of boring at times and not very memorable. And I think that it has like 2 wicked strong episodes in 10 and 11, and then it goes off this weird cliff. I might have some minor spoilers here because it sort of like pissed me off a little bit, but I guess I'll be as it's like a 5-year-old show at this point. My main issue with the show, weird like fan servicey jokes, weird tone shifts aside. I love how it looks, love the music. Characters are sort of interesting, but they lead you up to this point in episode 10. Or I'm sorry, episode 11. And lead you to this point with Yuko as a character. You find out why she's a ghost, what happened in her past life and everything. Then once that's the goal we were supposed to be going for, right? Is her finding out this information and something to happen with that. And then it does. You get to that moment, only for episode 12 to come along, and then basically pull the rug out from under you on everything you thought was going to happen and how the story was probably going to go. And it was weird to me. Like, it was just weird how, like, you have the show going, like, all in on this direction, right? We're all in. We're gonna resolve this. This is gonna be meaningful. This is gonna tug at people's heartstrings. Is everybody almost crying? Good. Wasn't this a cool show? Wasn't this a memorable experience? Oh no! Fuck you guys. Never mind. None of that really mattered because of this one thing that happens. And then they have episode 13, which is like an OVA episode that doesn't have
really
anything.
matter.
Not really. And all right. If I'll say it because I don't give a shit at this point. They fucking think that Yuko as a ghost is going to go, pass on to the next world or whatever the fuck's gonna happen. They lead you to believe that. Then she obviously has this romantic tie to Teiji or whatever the fuck his name is.
Teichi, I think his name is.
Yeah, Teichi-kun. Oh, by the way, we'll get to the dub in a minute. She has this bond with him. And so they spend like their last day. He's slowly not being able to see her and hear her and stuff like that. And it has this very touching scene where she has this notebook that she can write in. And eventually it gets to a point where that's all he can do is see what she writes. Shout out to Anohana. That's all he can do is see what she writes. And then she it's kind of romantic scene. They're in the club room, and then they're like, she's finally saying goodbye, right? And it's pretty sad. And I'm like, wow, this was an interesting ending to this show. And then I'm like, wait a minute, it's episode 11. And I'm like, wait a minute. So that, and then they kiss, right? And then she goes on or whatever. But then it turns out that the kiss kept her in this world. That bound her. She now has a soul bind with him, like a Rick and Morty dragon. She's now soul bound to him. I guess forever. I don't know. He's gonna become old and die. Like, I don't get what the fuck their fucking relationship. She's a ghost. Like, they can't. I don't think they can fuck. I don't know. They didn't talk about that.
You gotta watch the hentai version.
The manga went. I guess I read on the Wikipedia. The manga goes in like a semi-different direction because it was an ongoing manga at the time of the anime. But I don't know. That really pissed me off because it was just like, if it ended at episode 11, I would have been fine. Don't give me the bullshit of episode 13. Don't give me the weird fucking hullabaloo that's going on in episode 12. I don't know what the fuck that is.
I wish I could remember more than the Dusk Maiden and the skeleton from that show, but that's about all I remember.
There's a funny recurring joke. I think it's pretty funny that like she so there's a lot of like weird fan service moments with the ghost girl Yuko, and they animate her to be attractive, and she has no problem with people like touching her or seeing her like naked body in her ghost form. But if anybody sees her skeleton, she treats it like it's like sacrilegious. It's like seeing her naked, to the point where like they go to do an autopsy on her remains, and she like can't handle it. But I'm glad you brought that up, Dreadcoon, because I watched this in the English dub, and this is from an era. This is from an era of
where they added the honorifics.
They had the honorifics. Taichi-kun, Yuko-san. I think I love you, Yuko-san. Yuko-san, I didn't mean to touch you. I'm a fucking shitty beta male.
Yuko-san.
Oh, there's one. When it goes back to the flashbacks of when she was a kid in the village, she has that other character that refers to her as like Yuko Nei-chan. Yuko Nei-chan. I was like, I'm so glad that was gone.
I'm glad they got rid of that.
But yeah. When Chanchip was bringing up Dusk Maiden at one point to me, he was like, I get a lot of like flashbacks to another, and I would agree.
I can see that.
I think visually
it's got a similar aesthetic to it.
Yeah, I think visually Dusk Maiden looks better. I think it looks very good for a show like when it came out. Yeah. And the music is pretty interesting too. And I think it's got very cool cinematography. I like, if there was anything making me pay attention, it was the cool, like almost like Shinbo like shots in a lot of the scenes. But I think in everything else, another kind of blows it out of the water, because another at least has like
an interesting story.
Yeah, it's like it keeps you like enthralled. I was not enthralled in Dusk Maiden. I didn't really worry about how she died. I'm sorry, Yuko. I didn't really care, because you were kind of an annoying, slutty ghost. Okay, that's really all you were. I like the green hair girl way more. Kyrie, who is the other girl in their group, who's like tsundere, but she's also like a crybaby. Interesting character. She's constantly drinking milk for some reason to grow her tits. That's a recurring joke. But yeah, I mean, would I recommend Dusk Maiden? Probably not. If you wanted, the OP is pretty cool. If you really want something like about ghosts, because there aren't a lot of like, there's not a lot of horror anime, and then there's not even a lot of like horror-esque anime. So if you're really willing to go down that, if you've already seen like several other things, maybe give this a shot. I don't know. I'd recommend another first.
Oh, so I just decided to look up the director of Dusk Maiden Amnesia, Shin Onuma. He was the co-director alongside Akiyuki Shinbo on Negima.
Oh, that makes a lot of sense. because there's a lot of like weird cinematography in Dusk Maiden. There's a lot of weird like effects in like backgrounds and stuff like that and they have a lot of like room with it because it's a ghost girl. So like they could have like some kind of weird like her shadow goes like warping off in the other direction or something like that. But still kind of a forgettable show. And I wouldn't be surprised if it actually gave you amnesia. But Dredd, have you you missed that J-Chip is fully caught up on One Piece, by the way.
Oh, I know he is.
That inhuman being in the middle. What have you watched or read lately?
Okay, so from the last time we got together, a lot.
There's stuff I actually like didn't even mention because we would be here forever.
I'm going to try to go through these quick. So I did finish Bleach.
This goddamn Shonen Jump app.
I did finish Bleach. I think I had finished it the last time we were together. I started reading A Gravity Boys, thanks to Justin. I still have to read chapter 4.
What do you think of that, by the way?
I think it has its moments. It's not the best comedy manga out there, but I could see potential in it. But I also see that they might just axe it at any point.
Yeah.
I am reading One Piece. I'm about done with Alabasta.
Alabasta's one of my favorite arcs.
I'm on the last part of the Alabasta saga.
What do you think of Crocodile? Because he's my man.
He's okay.
He's going to get better.
Is he going to get better? Okay.
You're going to see more of him.
I mean, it's One Piece. I'm sure I'm going to see more of a lot of characters.
Do you remember that whale? Do you remember that whale that they
What whale?
Maroon. I think that's what his name was.
The
like
one from Reverse Mountain?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I don't know if you watched the 4Kids version, but for
No, I'm
reason,
reading it. I didn't watch the 4Kids version.
So, the 4Kids version did a really stupid thing. So, when they were doing that, they decided to combine the 3 episodes. So, the whale was turned into an iceberg.
Okay.
They just turned a whale character into an iceberg?
Yeah, the whale doesn't exist in the 4Kids version.
Well, you know, we can't have our kids...
which is a very big problem.
We can't have our kids learning that whales exist.
I like how they changed Smoker's name to Chaser in the 4Kids version. That I read up on.
I like Zoro's voice in the 4Kids dub. That's about it.
All I know about the 4Kids dub is the
and Sanji has
rap.
Sanji has a lollipop. I know that.
The rap, Sanji's lollipop, and Smoker is Chaser.
Robin sounds like a black lady for some reason.
That's great. So other than that, I watched Demon Slayer.
Oh, yes! What did you think?
It was decent.
There you have it. He said it's the worst show of all time.
Best part was when they fought Rui, I think. The fight against Rui was great. Then I caught up on the manga of Demon Slayer.
Holy shit! How long is the manga now?
189 chapters.
Holy shit.
It's really not that long. I feel like it hits a high point with the next arc that's going to be animated, and then it kind of dips after that.
Did you start Did you start the manga at the beginning, or did you just go to when the anime concluded?
When the anime ends.
Oh, okay. I thought you meant
No, I skipped right to where the anime ends.
Okay.
Then I guess Netflix shadow dropped the new Psyche K season, so I watched that.
Sneaky.
That was hilarious. Then I decided I need to watch all the new Psychopath stuff.
Oh my god.
So I watched the Sinners of the System films, which were actually really good, to varying degrees. Then I watched season 3, which ends in a cliffhanger, and I still don't quite understand what's going on.
Well, was it better than season 2? That's the important thing.
It was, but I don't know by how much. It's the same director, unfortunately.
This is
Or not
season
the same
2, like-
director, the same writer.
Don't people hate season 2? Isn't that
Yeah.
the thing?
Yeah.
Season 2 is kind of bad.
I only saw season 1. Season 1's good.
Season 3 has its good moments, but it's really going to be on whatever comes after season 3 to highlight and explain a lot, because there's some crazy stuff that, for as realistic as Psycho-Pass can be, I don't understand why the new main character, Arata, can put a headphone in and start listening to like basically ambient noise, and then he is reliving the moments of the people he's investigating. Doesn't feel very Psycho-Pass to me. I rewatched Shimoneta.
Holy shit. I'm awful. I watched Dusk, Maiden of Amnesia, and I'm only on chapter 100 of Vinland Saga.
I started 2 seasonal shows.
Ooh, okay. That's good.
I'm watching
2 as well.
basically the same ones Justin is watching.
Oh, God.
I'm watching the new Madoka Magica and Hands Off the Motion Pictures Club.
Why those 2 specifically?
Because Madoka Magica is Madoka Magica, and I hope the new one is decent, because it doesn't have Urabuchi or Shinbo.
But is this like an actual like sequel, or is it like based on a game?
It's based on the mobile game.
So it's based on a game. So it's not gonna be real Madoka.
But it's still Madoka.
You're just hungry for Madoka. Let's be real.
Yeah, and Hands Off the Motion Pictures Club is a Masaki Yuasa show. So.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that was really good. That was a very good first episode.
And then over the past 2 days, Justin, I watched and completed Beastars.
Oh yeah.
Is that
I know
on
you
Netflix
watched that. I don't know. You think I actually use Netflix for my anime?
Maybe.
Bruh, yo ho.
It's not even on Netflix now. At least in America.
No, you're a good old chap. You have the Shonen Jump app now, so you're all about.
Yeah, Shonen Jump is the only thing I pay for.
I'm so glad I canceled my Funimation account.
So you don't have Netflix for like regular shows?
No.
Fair enough.
Yo ho.
Yo. All right. Well, that's a good sort of segue into 2020 anime. As of yesterday, I know Inspector started airing, so I'm very excited to see that. So I've been reading some of the manga. That's definitely something I want to check out for the season. But it would kind of led me to believe I kind of want to do this earlier in the month, but better late than never, I suppose. Kind of thinking of like what I want out of anime in 2020 versus like what you like expect. And you can say like cliches here, like there's gonna be isekai anime, because I promise you that will exist.
Do you know what I think we're gonna see a boom in?
What's that?
3D anime.
Yeah,
Because in the middle of the 2010s, you had your Knights of Sidonia and your Ajins, which were still kind of janky.
Yeah.
They didn't really look that good. Then you had, on the sides, you had Ufotable making Ufotable things and just pushing, with every show they made, everything that they could do. The fight scene in the 5th Kara no Kyokai movie, which I forget which the villain is, but the one with the rotating camera is amazing. A lot of the shots from Tales of Hysteria are amazing, even though I don't really like the show. But then you had Land of the Lustrous come out.
Yay! I love that show.
Which I haven't watched it, but from clips I've seen, looked pretty good.
Yeah.
And then Studio Orange comes out with Beastars, which, aside from my thoughts on that show, you could literally pause that show and look at a screenshot of it, and you would think it's a normal 2D show until the characters start moving. and the animation of that show looked very clean. There were some moments where it was kind of eh.
The only problem I had with the mouths.
I can get that.
That's literally it, in my opinion.
But I think there were some weird moments, like if a character was falling downstairs or something that looked a little weird. But with those shows now, other studios are going to be looking at that and being like, this is how CG should look.
Yeah.
So you're not going to... I don't think you're going to have a lot of your Berserk 2016s anymore. Maybe once in a while. But for all those years that CG sucked from when they started using it...
Ruby Season 1, everybody!
I think now, like in this decade, you're going to see a lot more shows incorporating CG more so into their characters, and instead of just using it as backdrops. Because I think Studio Orange between Beastars and Land of the Lustrous proved that it can work, and it can work good.
Yeah, I agree.
Vinland Saga used a chunk of it in whenever there are scenes of like vast, huge battles, especially on ships and stuff. If the camera's panning over it, they use a lot of like just 3D models for the guys swinging swords and stuff like that.
I noticed Demon Slayer did that sometimes too.
Yeah, I think that's like a technique you'll see more and more. Land of the Lustrous. I watched the whole show, and I was at first like put off by it, but then it impressed me so much. It looks really good. It does have like some weird like frame rate issues. It seems like in certain scenes, but when they do action, it looks phenomenal. You could tell like. You kind of tell where I think a good chunk of the budget went to. But great character designs, really cool theme as a show. I really hope that would get another season. I haven't heard of one being announced. And it's an ongoing manga. So, interesting to me that wasn't like picked up faster. New Ghost in the Shell is coming. Okay, interesting. I feel like there's always going to be a new Ghost in the Shell.
It's a new standalone complex.
It's a new standalone complex.
Yeah, and it's all like CG.
It's all CG.
Not like Land of the Lustrous CG, but like Pixar CG.
Oh yeah. I remember seeing people on Twitter freaking out about that.
I don't really care. Like it just goes in the shell.
True. I do think we'll see a rise in 3D shows. It's when before we started this, I was looking at the charts. And we are heading into Sequel City.
Winter usually is Sequel City, though.
Even in spring, even what's been announced for fall, spring, if they do, like they've already. This is fucking crazy to me. They've already announced Shield Hero seasons 2 and 3, and 3.
Not gonna watch it.
How are you gonna pop in a season 3 advert on me? All right, when I can't have my goddamn March comes in like a lion season 3. When the fuck is that gonna come out, Shaft? When the fuck are we gonna get that, Shinmo? What the shit are you doing with your life?
Wow, spring does have a lot of sequels.
Yeah, like.
But you know what? I think most of the shows that I'm familiar with on here, with the exception of maybe one or two of them, kind of deserve it.
What else is getting a sequel?
Well, Yu-Gi-Oh! Doesn't need Yu-Gi-Oh! 7s. Let's just throw that out there.
Hey, they got to introduce the new mechanic to the game, dude. They need that shit.
Railgun is getting a new season.
Railgun, isn't that airing right now?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, Railgun T. But in terms of like spring 2020, right? There's new ReZero. We have new Kaguya-sama to make art happy.
Hey, let me point it out there that because of Crunchyroll's Anime Awards, and I went through the nominees and everything, for what they nominated, I actually picked the Kaguya-sama ending for best ending.
As in the ending song or ending of the show?
The ending sequence.
Okay.
Because they didn't say song, they didn't say animation. It was the sequence. So the sequence as a whole with the Chica dance, even though I don't like it, I think it was the best of what they had there.
Chica dance is... I haven't even seen the show, but I've seen the Chica dance 50 times.
Yeah, but I mean, technically speaking, I think it looks better than the other stuff they had put up. Like walking loops or slideshows.
How about the what the fuck was that? The mom anime, the Do You Like Your Mom? And there were most of the OP was characters sliding across the screen to trumpets. Hey Zarin, what's up? Thanks for coming, dude. Chica Dance was amazing. What are my thoughts on King's Avatar? I have not seen it. That is I believe, a Chinese production. I know Bob Samurai was really big into it.
Yeah, I'm familiar. I haven't watched it. But I know King's Avatars, it's a Chinese show about like a guy manipulating some kind of game.
Yeah. I know Bob Samurai was really into it, so literally 100% of the people I know that have watched it recommended it. What did you think of it, Zara? In terms of like, so 2020, that's another thing. We'll definitely this is gonna be cliche. We're gonna see more isekai. We're gonna see more like, well, this is gonna tie in MMO shit.
Mm-hmm. I think for now that's here to stay.
I promise you, we will see a cute animal girl with ears, but a largely human body who will be considered best girl.
We already have that. It's Neko Para.
I'm sorry. I'm late to the party. It's about ex-esports player playing a new game. It's one of my favorite anime personally after Initial D. Okay. I haven't seen Initial D either. I got to play one of the Initial D
The music in
games.
Initial D is really good.
I got to play one of the Initial D games in Japan. That's a flex and a half. But it was in a Japanese arcade, and I couldn't read anything on the screen. But it's okay, because I just raced my car. I think it has some of the best story and graphics, in my opinion. Okay, King's Avatar. I'll have to check. Is it like one season? I know it's like Quan Shi Gao Show or something. Yeah, Quan Shi Gao Show on Mao. Has 12 episodes. Okay.
I kind of wish Lai was here because Mahoka is getting another season.
What's getting another season?
The regular Magic High.
Why? What the fuck? I've only heard that that's the most like boring shit in the history of time.
It has the potential to be very interesting, but it is not.
Oh my god.
It drops the ball in almost every category that it could, including the relationships.
Hey, Osiris. What's up?
She's not related by blood, so it's okay if we get married.
Oh boy. Hey, it almost sounds like you weren't here when J-Chip talked about Terror in Resonance. Something that probably should have been good, but came out like smoldering diarrhea.
the only three things that I remember about Zankyo no Terror are there's an EMP that explodes above the city. They all get, you know what, in the end. And they're terrorists working for a good cause.
I think only one of them dies.
Spoiler alert for Terror in Resonance.
Fuck it. It's a
fucking shitty show. Don't watch it. So too bad, so sad.
The Gatling gun shooting one of them down.
The one that dies was actually the most likable character out of all of them.
It's like the goofy one, right?
It's the funny one.
Yeah.
He's the
Why
one
did the girl die?
He gets the one that
the girl didn't matter.
Gets shots, but they don't kill the fucking girl. They don't kill the dude.
I also like how they introduce like a plot line with the girl and her mom or dad or something, and then they barely talk about that. They're like, yeah.
Whenever you talk about this series, there's one thing that you were absolutely spot on about, and it's that damn cop.
The cop, oh my god.
And his friend.
The cop in Terror in Resonance is the most cliche fucking 5 o'clock shadow, loose tie, doesn't get enough sleep. He looks like the teacher from My Hero Academia all the time. But he is so cliche, and he's just always like, I picture him with that voice that the South Park guys always do for that cop, where he's like, I'm just trying to get my Bert. I can't figure out what building these guys are gonna blow up next. My wife left me because I was at work too late. I can't ever see my little girls' plays anymore. I'm still busy trying to find out which fucking building these assholes are gonna blow up. What's this clue? What do they mean? 3 knights and a bishop? Oh wait, they're blowing up the chess building. Fuck. Too bad I'm stupid. It's already blown up. And then you get to the fucking reasons why they're blowing up this shit. And I was so fucking let down. I was like, what? Oh my god. I would not, if I could get amnesia about that show instead. But 2020, more isekai, more MMOs, more cute girls with raccoon ears. We're gonna have our dragon tails, dragon maids. Insert animal than a maid.
Yeah, we'll see about that. We got to wait for the resurgence of Kyoto animation.
But in Weathering with You comes to U.S. theaters next weekend. By the way, anybody interested in that, I will be seeing it next. Hopefully be seeing it next Saturday. And probably be watching it in English dub. And that should be good. I'm a little concerned because I have not heard as much. You know, Your Name fucking exploded, right? And it's the same dude, same team. And this movie came out like months and months ago, and I haven't heard much about it. So, you know.
Well, you'll probably hear more about it when it comes over here.
I guess. I feel like with Your Name, though, you still heard about it like like it made so much money. Even in Japan. So that leads me to believe that something must be wrong with Weathering with You. Which is also a weird English title.
I thought the trailer, at least from what I saw, I thought the trailer looked like it had the potential to be one of his best movies.
Yeah, in theory. I wonder if it'll be like, because here's the thing with Shinkai stuff. At least I think. I'm also sort of biased because I really like the guy. However, I do admit that he has some fucking flops, and there are definitely flaws. I think that Your Name is so popular because this is going to sound bad, but it's very mainstream. It is very like. It has like some twistiness to it, but it's very cookie cutter, just body swap, fucking like you could just make like an American movie out of that shit, and then it just ties it in with like Shinto culture, and beautiful, and then the animation sells it, the music sells it. That's why I think that Your Name exploded, and I also think he's getting better. Hopefully, you would think getting better with every film, and. Obviously has a bigger budget. And then we get to Weathering with You, which the little that I know about its premise and stuff like that sounds a lot more anime-y. So I wonder if that in any way hurt its popularity or will hurt its popularity. The interesting thing will be to see what comes next. Like if Weathering with You does not do necessarily as well, will he go back and write some other very easy to watch mainstream type show or movie?
Or will he make another like Garden of Words?
Yeah. Or will he fucking Children of Chase Lost Voices, which is not wonderful. Or Place Promise in Early Days.
I promise you, Miasma. I will watch Garden of Words after the stream.
You watch Garden with it's on Garden of Words is on Netflix if you pay for Netflix. Or you just Gaio it, I'm sure.
I mean, I'm going to use Netflix, but I don't pay Netflix.
Okay.
I use someone else's Netflix.
Your Name is ranked over Spirited Away on Mal. Yeah, I'm not surprised. I mean, I think it made more money than it, too. There's also a lot, like, I feel like a lot of people that are taking the time to vote on Mal, especially nowadays, are probably of the generation that might see, like, something, like, newer. and say like, "Oh yeah, this is the greatest thing of all time." Look at when Erased came out. Erased was like the number 3 anime of all time for like 3 days.
Yeah, about that.
Go read the manga.
Yeah,
That's what everyone says. Personally, this is gonna be sacrilegious to a lot of anime people. I like Your Name better than Spirited Away.
so do I
I do
actually.
too. Yeah.
I liked Spirited Away the first time I saw it, and then I went to rewatch it, and I thought it was kind of boring.
I think Spirited Away has its moments, and I think honestly, I think its biggest appeal is when it came out over here. Like at least here, when it came out over here, we were young.
Yeah. I watched the movie when I was a kid, and I thought it was the best movie ever made. But
I didn't see it
now that I
until
watch it as an adult, I'm like, it's okay.
I didn't see it until adult one.
It's a good family movie.
Yeah. I feel the same.
I mean,
way with,
which
Kiki
is
Delivery
what
Service.
Miyazaki is good at. I mean, I'm not gonna knock the guy, but
Would you say Your Name is a good family movie?
so I think there's elements of Your Name that a child would not pick up on. Why is Taki feeling his body, for example, or Mitsuha's body, rather?
Yeah.
But like that, the entire context of that scene is just goes over the head of a child.
Yeah, that's true.
But there's something about Miyazaki's storytelling where he can get he makes films in such a way where yes, there are things to be enjoyed by adults, but I think Ghibli's strongest suits are kind of sacrilegiously when Miyazaki is not making the movie.
Shout out to when Marnie was there.
Like I much prefer my favorite Ghibli film is Grave of the Fireflies.
I still haven't seen it.
Which
I'm
is
scared of it.
not Miyazaki, it's Takahata, but
Rest in peace. I still want to watch Kaguya.
and I mean Grave of the Fireflies has its issues too, but
Did it make you cry?
no.
Okay.
I think subject-wise, Barefoot Gen's a better movie, but Grave of the Fireflies is still probably my favorite Ghibli movie.
Favorite Ghibli? Justin, what's your favorite Ghibli so I can take my time?
Princess Mononoke.
Fuck! You were supposed to think.
I didn't really have to think about that.
See, I don't remember a lot from Princess Mononoke. I watched it.
I kind of want to say Mononoke too.
I would go back and rewatch it just because I don't remember a lot about it, but I remember sitting through it and like, this is long.
All you need to know is that a guy's arms get shut off with an arrow, and it's wonderful.
Yeah.
Cool.
I feel like in my mind, I see Princess Mononoke and I replay the parts that I remember alongside scenes from Sword of the Stranger. For some reason. I'm like, both of them were not very memorable movies to me.
Hey, you only have to watch the end of Sword of the Stranger according to Digi.
Oh, because of the fight scene, yeah.
Just watch the end.
Because the rest of the movie has crazy faces on its characters.
And the characters are very interesting. And the last fight scene is choreographed by some fucking famous fighter animation dude. He did Cowboy Bebop fights too. I might say Howls, but I've only seen Howls once. But the one time I did, I've seen Mononoke several times. So I think I would have to give Howls a rewatch before I say that. And I didn't watch it for a long time, but one of my friends told me, like, he's like, oh, you'd really, really like this. And I was like, oh, yeah, sure, whatever. I just wrote it off as like a Ghibli thing.
You know who needs to make a Ghibli movie? Junji Ito.
I mean, Junji Ito anime adaptations are scary, in one way.
He can make his own anime adaptation.
We're getting an Uzumaki adaptation. That's something.
Yeah, we'll see about that.
We'll see how that goes. Who's doing it? I'm very terrified.
I didn't look at the studio.
I got it.
Watch it be Gonzo.
It's not Gonzo. I don't think Gonzo it's IG. Okay, so maybe
that has some promise then.
Who did? Yeah, but did they do the shitty like that fucking?
The Junji Ito collection, that was Dean.
Oh, okay.
I think he's talking about Gyo.
No, well, I was talking about the collection.
Oh,
Gyo,
yeah,
I'm not worried. I've seen Gyo. Gyo is its own thing. Fuck. Dean's doing Inspector, so I'm kind of worried. I'm pretty sure they are.
I mean, Dean's for everything that they've done bad, like the Junji Ito collection. You got to remember, Dean. They've come out with Konosuba, Rakugo Shinju, Sakamoto. They've had some really strong contenders in the past 5 years.
Oh, it's Brains Base I'm thinking of. Never mind. But yeah, go ahead. Go Dean. Brains Base, who I haven't heard of since Durarara. Like early Durarara. I believe
before it got switched to Shuka.
Yeah, they did season 1. And they did Baccano. Apparently they did Snafu. They did Hotorubi no Mori-E, which I love. Wow, yeah, they've really like fallen off the planet.
Brains Base. Did they do Kiss Him Not Me?
I don't think so.
If these are chronologically in order, then no. I don't know if they are.
Because I know they're still around.
They did Kiss Him Not Me. So these are not in chronological. They did Spice and Wolf season 2. I don't know if they did Spice and Wolf season 1. Durarara season 1 in the specials, Baccano in the specials.
The Baccano specials should have just been included in the show.
Oh god, they did the Anonymous Noise, that piece of shit. They did Kyokai no Rine, which is a Takahashi show that I tried to watch. It's like a really bad blend of Inuyasha and Bleach.
Look, let's be honest. Anonymous Noise had some potential.
Oh my god. Until the girl started singing.
But they really got a bad singer. The music could have been way better.
It's a music anime.
If that had some like top tier music, that would have been a way better show. It was a cookie cutter ass shoujo. But if the music were good, it would have been a good show. I sit back and I'm like, why would I not just watch K-On?
I mean, you could watch K-On.
It's better than Anonymous Noise.
It's on Netflix now.
All right. J-Chip, do you have any solid predictions for 2020 in anime? Or what would you like out of anime? I think people know I already complained about March Comes In Like a Lion. I already complained about Land of the Lustrous. But I'll think of something else to complain about. But what do you want to see?
We know the sad truth is that Food Wars is going to end.
Yeah.
Is the manga over?
Yep.
Yeah.
Sure is.
All right, J-Chip.
Attack on Titan's going to end too.
Good. J-Chip, what do you expect? What do you look forward to?
I just want good stories. That's really all I care about.
Good stories?
I want good stories and good characters.
God damn it.
And
you're supposed to say big-titted women.
Well,
to say
Doro Hedoro.
There's a perfect show out for you right now if you want good characters and a good story. It's about an idol group called 22-7. It's animated by A1 Pictures.
Yeah, no.
You got all the titties you want.
You can watch it. You can watch it for me.
What show
what
is
if,
this?
what if I donate to your Patreon? Will you watch 22-7?
Yeah, sure. If you want to give me $15, go right ahead.
22-7. There's not even like a description. TV anime series for idol group 22-7.
It's about a idol group that's like real or some shit.
It's an Aniplex release, so you can wait and pick up the Blu-rays for like all of your money. I'm also interested in Darwin's game. That seems interesting.
You should
mostly
watch,
because it has this girl with a cool chain weapon. I know nothing else about the show besides that they're in some weird cell phone game.
One that stood out to me that's coming out, if I can fucking find it.
Is it Pet? Because that seems very confusing and weird.
I was interested in checking that out. But there's Ishuzoku Reviewers, which the first paragraph of the synopsis says, in our world, the human race constantly debates about several important issues, such as which girl is the best girl, how good is something as fapping material, and which fetish is the sexiest. That is a very strong opening.
You gotta accompany these great warriors as they present us with different girls, different opinions, different boners, and show us and show us that the fantasy world may not be all that different from ours.
Like, I feel that has the potential to be some kind of like ironic criticism of certain people that like anime.
Look at the title. Look at the picture. There's giant titty girls. There's a squid girl. There's a fire demon girl. This is made by Passion, which is a studio I've never heard of in my life. They did Roku no Yusha, apparently. They made Citrus.
Ew.
They made
They're making the new Higurashi.
Oh my god, they're making fucking this is something I really want to watch. Kyochu Rito, which is the island of giant insects. Which, if you haven't seen a preview for that, you need to see it on YouTube because it looks. You want to talk CG? We're talking giant CG bugs, people. We're talking Starship Troopers, the fucking anime, with hot chicks on an island getting attacked. We're watching it. It's going to be my next fucking monthly watch along whenever it comes out.
It's only 20 minutes.
Is it? Good. It has a 4.8. I don't think it's out yet.
It says it's over. Like, it aired.
Oh, it aired? I don't think it's... Oh, I haven't seen it on any streaming service.
I'm going to check the Yoho web.
I want to say Crunchyroll got rights to it. I hope they did. But Island of Giant Insects had CG grasshoppers and shit like attacking girls, so that was, right up my alley apparently. So that's what you have to look forward to with Ishii.
Oh, it's out.
It's out?
It came out yesterday.
Yesterday? Oh my god.
The uncut version came out yesterday.
Holy shit. Oh my god, hold on. This is a live check if it's on another Gaio website.
It's on yoho.me or yoho.ru.
It is not on my... It's not on my Gaio that I use. But it will be. That's wonderful. Alright. Dread, what do you look forward to? What do you want? What do you expect?
Well, right now I'm looking forward to this Island of Giant Insects. I want to watch this.
Are you watching the preview? How good is that preview? Yes, he's seeing the CG bugs.
Yeah, I watched the preview.
There's no escape. You will be eaten.
There's so many things that have ended and are ending within the next year that I love, that I hope there are things to come. Like, March Comes In Like a Lion is a good example that you mentioned. Like, that thing came out of nowhere and hit me, and I'm like, this shit is amazing. I need more of that.
Yeah.
I need more March Comes In Like a Lion's. I need more Psycho Passes to replace my Food Wars and my Attack on Titan. And yeah.
Did you call Sangatsu anime of the decade?
I
don't really disagree.
I don't disagree with that.
I actually have my personal anime of the decade sitting right next to me.
Is it Fruits Basket?
No.
What is it?
As that show was.
Is it Island of Giant Insects?
I think this was better.
Hunteru X Hunteru.
I think it's because it's Togashi.
I would put Hunter x Hunter up there in like my top 5.
I just like I really like Hunter x Hunter a lot, and I thought it was a really cool show. And
But what I will say is, even if so I haven't seen Sangatsu season 2, but even if I don't watch Sangatsu season 2, it feels like a complete story in season 1.
Yeah.
With room for them to move. Hunter x Hunter being Hunter x Hunter and Togashi writing the way he did. Even in the TV series, there was a lot of loose ends that Madhouse didn't get to. And
I'm willing to look past that though, because I think the show has so much good for it that it's kind of easy to not focus on the negative, because I think the show is so good.
I mean, I think it's amazing, and I think like I said, top 5 material for me.
I'm like in the middle. I think when I was watching it, I was very addicted to it. I think it is a very addictive show. I think it's very.
You can smile.
I think it's
you
very.
Can smile kind of show.
I think it's very exciting. I think. Obviously, the guy does powers like nobody else, and so, and the world is very interesting. What I just didn't like was, and I guess it could be resolved by just having more. Was just a lot of like loose ends of like
the Phantom Troop.
Like we saw, like I feel like we had a checklist of like 30 things and we checked off like 2. And like I'm sitting here like, what the fuck is Kurapika doing? What the fuck was why wasn't the Oreo around more? What the fuck? Why is there no? And I want to know more about the clown dude. Hisoka.
So not to mention that, but the show, as it is just really just a look into part of the world, because where the manga picks off with the Dark Continent, all sorts of crazy shit happens over there that I've heard. I haven't read much into it. I want to pick up the manga and like catch up on Hunter x Hunter. But the world, from my understanding, is not like it's what we saw is nothing compared to what we will see.
Do you see yourself picking up the Sangatsu no Lion manga?
I've been contemplating that.
Same here,
because
I don't know if season 2's gonna happen.
Even though I love what Shaft does, and really nobody else could do what they do, if they don't pick up more, like after I watch season 2, I'll really have my decision. But if they don't pick up more, I have to.
You will. Season 2 is fucking fire.
What's your anime of the decade, Miasma?
Anime of the decade. Wow, you're catching me off guard here.
Erased.
It's not Hunter x Hunter. It's not Erased.
Tokyo Ghoul.
That's the anime that got me back into it, so I could say.
Is it Guilty Crown?
It is. Are we talking animation and music only? And ignoring everything else. Anime of the decade. Oh boy. I might have to just weasel out of this and say March Comes in Like a Lion, but because that was fucking it's fucking like never bad. Like it is like never bad. It is like it never bored me. It never like made me want to stop. It made you feel all signs. It made me laugh. It made me almost cry. And it's a different type of thing that I've ever watched before. Like it's fucking like it's unreal.
I will say, with March Comes in Like a Lion, that is the only show that I can remember watching all the way through, and at the end of episode 22, I went back to episode 1 and rewatched the whole thing again.
Yeah, I can see it. I mean, I love Durarara. Durarara to me is a very interesting adventure that I think gets more. It's like Shrek, It's like the onion. It's like the more layers you get in to Durarara, the more bizarre, interesting, and the more bizarre for sure. Later
I think Durarara would be up there for me too.
Durarara is very good. Although I will say, at its conclusion, this is interesting to me. Actually, now that I think about this, at its conclusion, like in general, I love all of Durarara, but reflectively, I kind of like season 1 the best. Because it gets bizarre in some moments in season 2. It gets sort of weird, and that's fine. Like it's a wacky kind of thing. But season 1,
with the more Russians they introduce, and then the dojo girl.
There's a lot of stuff that they like touch on a little bit, and it gets to be very like, oh, you should read the light novels to know more. Whereas in season 1, you might get that feeling like a little bit, and I think it's because it's so fresh and new to you. All that bizarre nature sort of feels a little more comfortable, I think.
I think it was Digi that mentioned it. I don't remember if it was him or if it was Arcata. But one of them said something about Durarara, and I agree with it. They said as the show sat with them, that comparing it to Bakano, it felt that Durarara's characters had more meat to them.
Yeah,
and were more memorable. Was that Digi?
Yeah, I believe so.
Arcata doesn't like Durarara.
I watched both of their lists or whatever. I didn't remember who really said what.
So I'm going to weasel out and I'll say March Comes Like a Lion. Very close, probably Durarara. That's a big middle finger to every 2010s show that I can't think of in my head. But I don't think anything... I think anything else in like my very tops is probably from prior to 2010 because I'm a boomer. But yeah, let's say March Comes Like a Lion.
Is that the only 3 you can think of?
Where does Dusk Maiden rank? If you did the tier list of like every anime that was in 2010 and like the 2010 decade.
Oh, from the decade. S through F?
Yeah.
Dusk Maiden's like a... Dusk Maiden's like a...
I give it like a C minus.
Like a C or a D?
I
mean, it's not like awful.
What would my 5 be? There are so many good ones that it's hard.
So for me, like my 5, Hunter x Hunter, Fruits Basket, Food Wars, Chihaya Furyu, and Beastars.
Okay.
Beastars slides in there, really.
I really love Beastars. I thought that was like the most interesting show I've seen.
I might put Dr. Stone in.
March Comes In Like a Lion, Durarara, Hunter x Hunter, Psychopaths.
Ooh.
And I don't want to rob anything else because I want to put Attack on Titan. I want to put Food Wars. I want to put Monogatari. But it's really hard which one I would pick. If I had to, probably Food Wars.
Steins Gate.
Steins Gate, too.
2011. Madoka Magica.
See, there's just so much to pick that 5 just really doesn't...
You know what the worst anime of the decade was?
JoJo's, technically, is...
Yeah.
There's just so much out there that I don't think even 5 would...
Shingeki really no Kyojin?
I already said Attack on Titan, you weeb.
Kill! I'm surprised I didn't put that there. Oh my god, I'm looking at a list and this guy put Zankyo no Terror.
F tier. Straight up F tier.
In like best anime of the decade?
Yeah.
I wouldn't call it F tier.
It was boring as hell.
It
What is
had
my
some.
life?
I will say, from what I remember, it had some interesting ideas.
What is my life?
It didn't necessarily execute on them, but it had some interesting ideas, which is more than some boring shows
Mob
But
Psycho.
I just
the
think
past
like
few years.
I just think that the show needed better characters because the
Mo-
characters were boring as shit.
He also has Violet Evergarden.
Sorry,
What?
Justin, you didn't understand that.
Oh, Devilman.
Evergarden's
Devilman.
like-
Oh, what about Devilman Crybaby?
I give it out like a B plus.
That was pretty good.
It was entertaining. Ironically, though,
Gretzko. He also has Kaguya.
I would put Violet Evergarden in B plus territory.
I might put Dr. Stone in. Which make me might put Vinland Saga in because Vinland Saga.
I'm interested
Is
in
good.
hearing Justin's thoughts on Beastars. Why that's in his top 5.
Because Beastars surprised the hell out of me because I never expected to like that show as much as I did. Because one, it's animal people, and I'm not into animal people. It's CG, and the thing that like brought me into it, one was the opening, and two, like the interesting psychological stuff that was going on with Legosi. The fact that he is a beast and he's trying to tame his wild side.
So this is completely opposite of you, Justin. I didn't dislike Beastars. I thought it was a decent show. I just feel like it's gonna be remembered for its originality, for its like it using non-human characters, it being CG, it doing what it did, its unconventional opening. It's gonna be remembered for that. But I as I'm watching it, I'm thinking, what is this show doing that, say, Tokyo Ghoul didn't do? With Kaneki trying to suppress his urges as a ghoul, or that, a lot of other school shows do with the student council president and Louis.
I think it's because like Beastars is so unique in that way, and like its aesthetic, and like the setting.
The
Sure,
setting
yeah,
that was a school.
The setting that was a school,
it's a
and
school
the fact that the
Of animals.
herbivores and omnivores are like living together and they're in this school together.
So what do the carnivore kids like eat?
See, so there's a teaser at the end of the first season which shows like, I don't know if you saw like the teaser at the end, Justin.
I did. I know,
But it's like a pill packet in the garbage, which
Mhm.
makes me assume that the students are taking like blood pills or something similar to like what happens in Tokyo Ghoul with them taking dead bodies and doing what they do.
Okay.
And there is an aspect where the adults go to this what's called the dark market, where they pay high prices for meat. So it's explained how the adults get their fill, but the students have to suppress that urge.
Okay.
And in public, the adults have to suppress that urge unless they're in the market,
Yeah.
It has some interesting things going on with it, and season 2 can really fix a lot of my problems with it. I mean, I said the same thing about ReZero. But I think season 2 can fix a lot of my concerns with it. When I went into it, I guess I'm like, everybody's hyping this thing up as a really good psychological drama, and I come out of it, I'm like, it was a decent romance drama.
None of us said My Hero Academia. Or
Well,
One Punch Man.
hold on, where's light?
Or One Punch Man.
Because Mob Psycho was better.
Ooh. Mob Psycho was better.
Hey, you want to hear another hot take?
Nope. Parasite the Maxim. I
What?
really like Parasite. Sorry, Justin, I just want to answer Cozy Boots. I like Parasite. I don't think it's on par with like being like up there for the decade. I think it's a solid show. If I have any drawbacks with that, is it gets very like preachy to me. It gets very much like hitting you over the head with like, aren't people like he's like the parasite's just trying to live. Like people are just trying to get in the way of it trying to live. Human beings are kind of like monsters, kind of like Shiki does, but a little more blunt. Go ahead, Justin. Still a good show. I like it. A great OP, by the way, by fucking Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas.
Yeah. If you want to hear a hot take, Black Clover is better than My Hero Academia.
I believe it.
Manga, at least. Anime
Yeah,
wise,
no, I believe it.
Anime-wise, My Hero is better because the anime kind of sucks in Black Clover, sadly, but the manga is actually really good.
Like, as I'm sitting here, like, catching up with Demon Slayer and thinking it's all right, I'm finding myself back on One Piece. I'm like, I love One Piece, but I want to be done with One Piece so I can read Black Clover.
Honestly, though, if you read Black Clover, like when you're done with One Piece, you're going to be very surprised because that manga goes super fast. And it takes, like, the best thing about One Piece is that each chapter is filled with so much information. And, like, there's a lot of dialogue, there's a lot of art that you got to pay attention to. Sometimes it's best to reread a chapter to kind of get the point. And,
Okay.
Yeah.
What I will say about One Piece is of the big three, I should say now the old big three, I feel like I remember more about what's going on in One Piece. And this is just attesting to Oda's storytelling in general, but more in One Piece than I do from Naruto or Bleach.
Now, I can't ask you this, but when you get to the Thriller Bark arc, I need to ask. I will ask you if Oda is really the master of long-term storytelling.
What arc did you say?
Thriller Bark.
Okay.
You got ways to go.
Alrighty. I'm gonna cut this off here. I want to thank everybody for coming. It's been an awesome chat tonight.
It was
Please
a
check
long
out-
podcast too.
Yeah, it was good though. Please check out J Chip and Dread's channels. Also got a Patreon link down below. Thank you so much for coming. And we will definitely see you guys next time. Have a great week. See ya.